Hi, I'm really sorry about the bad quality. I don't want to use back camera and I don't know why the quality is so bad. But I have notes here that I'm going to have to look at because I'm not obviously very eloquent when I talk. I kind of wanted to follow on to what I was saying last video about misogyny and the manosphere. So essentially what the manosphere is it's this whole Andrew Tate black pill, red pill thing. And so the manosphere has massively increased misogynistic views and hatred towards women. Misogyny in young boys and young men has massively been getting worse, and in schools, studies showing teachers have said that it is starting to become more and more of an issue of teenage boys saying these things. 80% of boys like age 16 to 17 have consumed media to do with the manosphere or to do with Andrew Tate, and 80% of girls 13 to 20 have heard or received toxic or misogynistic comments. Essentially what the manosphere does is preys on young insecure boys and offers this narrative of male victimhood and blaming women and feminism for all their issues. It also plays a massive part in the objectification and dehumanization of women, and kind of the justification of rape culture, and definitely links into, as I was saying in my last video, the now obsession with purity culture. Women are portrayed as these kind of shallow and evil and manipulative people, and this kind of like incel thing, which is involuntary celibate, and you know, it's built off of insecurity of physical appearance, like just the way these people are. This manosphere takes it and takes advantage of it and turns it into this thing of, okay, you are an incel and it is these women's fault because they put this message in these boys' heads, and it's with this whole red pill shit that women are looking for high-ranked alpha males to, you know, have sex with and benefit from financially. The goal is essentially to get these women, but at the same time hate them because everything is their fault, which doesn't make sense. But the incels believe that it's these women's faults because these women only want these high alpha males, which just isn't true. It's very much kind of an us versus them mentality, and it's, oh, all these women just want these, you know, men that are more handsome and more attractive and more confident than us. And it's also where this whole like black pill, bone smashing, mogging, looks maxing, as much as we love to joke about it, it all comes from these misogynistic groups of men, because, you know, they all just want to be the chads, and it's just weird. And another way they objectify women is this whole sub-3, Stacey, Eve, Becky. What the fuck? Like, I get they, you know, they also have their own like chad and incel thing, but why are we reducing people and human beings with feelings, families, personalities down to categories of how physically attractive you are? It's so weird. And the reason they prey on young boys and young insecure boys is because they're easier to get in their heads because they already have these insecurities, and, you know, say people around them are getting girlfriends and they can't, they will be easier to convince this mindset of it's all women's fault, it's because women only want these alpha males and then they will benefit off of it by getting in their heads. You need a jaw trainer, you need to watch these videos it's about getting money from it and having their views projected and getting these like followers, because trust me, they will be followers. It's like a weird fucking cult. It's normalized with young boys now to just have these misogynistic views, and the amount of things I hear coming out like boys my age's mouths, and I'm like, why do you think that's okay to say? Like, violence towards women is so normalized now. Like, you hear about so many women being murdered because they've simply rejected a man, or, you know, said something that's offended a man, which is ridiculous. And this is where I want to link in the porn. I don't care if it's a taboo topic, I want to talk about it. I think this whole UK gooning ban, as much as we'll joke and as much as we'll say things, I think it's a very positive thing, because the porn kind of viewing rates have dropped massively since it's been put in place, because a lot of the people that consume porn are young boys. And the issue with this is it gives boys this twisted and fucked up view of sex. Sex is supposed to be a beautiful and intimate thing. It has a massive effect on mental health and can cause anxiety and depression, but you get stuck in this loop of, because it will release so much dopamine, when they start feeling, you know, down and they start feeling depressed, to get that dopamine kick, they will watch more porn. And the thing with porn is, because it releases so much dopamine, when they get used to watching, you know, the classic porn, their brain craves more, and they will crave more and start taking, you know, more violent porn and more aggressive porn. And then this is then what impacts, you know, their view on women and their view on sex. And this is why, you know, a lot of rape culture and a lot of rapists is influenced by porn, because it's given this view of women aren't supposed to, it isn't supposed to be this intimate and soft thing. It's supposed to be aggressive and rough, and it's disgusting. A lot of women in the porn industry, and obviously not all of them, but a lot of them have had kind of previous abuse or financial issues or mental health issues, and a lot of women in the porn industry, it is a last resort for them to make money. In France, they did a study, and 78% of women in porn had previous traumas and previous issues which have left them in a bad spot, essentially. And when you need money or you need a job, you get desperate. Like a study done, and 65% of women have had some sort of sexual abuse, rape, violence, physically and verbally, during the filming of porn and being in the porn industry. And then they can't feel like they can't talk up about it because of the shame from doing porn, and the kind of social response would often be, well, that's what you signed up for, even though it's not at all. And it just shows that this porn encourages aggression physically, verbally, and it's gross. Okay, I don't know how much of that I'm going to include in, because I just went on a ramble and I wasn't really making sense. Anyway, essentially what I'm trying to say is, I find it very strange that on Pornhub, the thing that men search for the most is teen. And most videos made, kind of, not most videos made, but a lot of the videos made will be freshly 18, barely legal, like the whole Bonnie Blue thing. It's not just men, but that whole Bonnie Blue thing, barely legal, because it's, you know, just on the edge of illegal dark web shit, but it's not quite there, so it's fine. it will be these barely legal young looking girls or girls in school uniform, like girls and teachers, girls and their stepdads, girls and their stepbrothers. It's weird. It's weird and it's perverted. It's perverted. What I also find really disturbing is a lot of like classic porn plot lines. I've done my research. Are women not being able to pay for something, women owing a favour, women being kidnapped, women stuck somewhere. It's all situations where these women kind of don't have an option. And this might be seen as too woke. I don't care. If it is something where a woman is stuck somewhere, or, oh, I can't pay, we'll have to pay a different way. It's weird. It is rape fantasies without having to fully commit to portraying a rape, because that's when it enters the zone of, yeah, no, that's wrong. So they will just make all these things that are kind of teetering on the edge, because then they can go, no, we're not doing that. They just need a way to get away with it. The issue with porn is, the main issue, the people that end up with these porn addictions and will consume this porn constantly stop seeing these women as actual human women, and just they kind of start being seen as sexual objects, and then that view projects into real life, and that's when sexual violence and physical violence will begin towards women, because they aren't seen as humans, they're just kind of objects. The average age a boy will start to come across porn, I'm pretty sure, is like 9 or 10. They aren't even in high school yet. They can't even do complex algebra, and they are taking in porn and a very warped projection of sex. I think another thing is the way girls and boys, and this isn't everyone, but in my experience, girls and boys will talk about porn is very different. You know, if you talk to a group of girls, they've either accidentally seen it, watched it once or twice, or never at all. And again, it's not everyone, but all the girls that I seem to talk to about it. Whereas the boys, it's not even a taboo topic to them. It's just like a ha-ha funny thing. Like, they all watch it. Oh my god, blah blah blah, this person's been watching this. And I'm like, why is this so normalised now? Why is it not seen as a bad thing anymore? It's just a happily open thing that, ooh, porn. What the hell? I feel like I'm very much rambling, so I'm gonna kind of begin to wrap it up. But what I'm trying to say, sorry, teenage boys now have a very fucked up view of women and how women behave and how women treat them, and women are having this increased amount of misogyny and violence because men on the internet are pushing this view to young insecure boys that women are to blame for everything. That the reason you don't have a girlfriend is because women are shallow and manipulative and they only want alpha males. I think if you ask most women, they would say get to fuck on this whole alpha male bullshit. Andrew Tate, okay, he is half of the fucking blame, but all these boys idolize him. He trafficked women. What about the severity of that? Do we not understand? Well, we know why they don't understand the severity of it, because they don't view these women as human beings. They are objects. The manosphere objectifies and dehumanizes women. and so does porn. Porn objectifies women as basically sex dolls. And don't get me fucking started on realistic sex dolls. That's a video for another time. Okay, I think that's kind of everything I wanted to say. I really don't think I've got my point across very well, and I don't think I've been very eloquent with it. But yeah, tell me what you want me to talk about next, I guess.